YouTube? So, I got another unboxing and review to do today. So this is the Basecamp Jackknife. Basecamp is the collaboration between CLYW and YoyoFactory. And, see? CLYW x YoyoFactory. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the Jackknife. So, I have a, Expedition. I like the Expedition a lot. Have one. This I got off the BST. It's kind of beat up, but I like this yo-yo. This is the Jackknife. So I have opened this and played with it before. Before I give you my opinion on it, let's just kind of open her up and I'll show you and we'll go from there. But anyway, so it comes in a YoyoFactory-esque box. I don't know what's up there. This isn't mine. This has to go back to SW Randall. But they were gracious enough to let me borrow it to review it. They are a Basecamp, YoyoFactory, and CLYW dealer, as well as Recess. So, you know, if you have the chance, go downtown Pittsburgh, check them out. Or they have, SW Randall has lots and lots of cool yo-yos in the case. They'll let you try them out. But anyway, let's pop this open. So like the YoyoFactories, you can open them from the bottom. It's the same box, basically just kind of looks more CLYW-ish. And comes out the same as a YoyoFactory would. And there you go. Now this one's blasted. Unlike mine, this is one of the second run that came out around the holidays. The blasted ones. The first one kind of was a shinier finish. It wasn't as it was matte still, but it wasn't like blasted. This one's like a blasted finish. So this is one of the newer runs. Let's get right into the specs though. So the diameter of this yo-yo is 56.47 millimeters, so it's a pretty big diameter. The width is 44.3 millimeters, which is pretty standard. 5 millimeter gap width, which is huge. So big gap. And the weight is 64.9 grams, so it's kind of light. Comes with the CBC center track bearing. 19 millimeter YoyoFactory white slim pads, and designed in USA and Canada, and machined in China. So let's kind of talk about this yo-yo a little bit here. So like I said, I have played with it, and we are going to string it up, and I'll throw it around. So the design of this yo-yo is, like its name implies, the Jackknife is sort of a jack of all trades kind of a yo-yo. You got a thumb grind lip there that's really easy to thumb grind on. You got a finger spin cup there that's supposed to be good for finger spins. It's blasted, and this is kind of a comfortable shape to hold in your hand and to throw. And you know, it grinds pretty decent on your hand there. Like it's a pretty good shape for finger grinds. It's also a good shape for like arm grinds and hand grinds and stuff like that. So it's just kind of a overall shape that, you know, is sort of meant to fit in a lot of different categories. And so, you know, I think that was the general overall intent when they designed it. And, you know, that was where they were going with it. Now, I have a couple of issues with this yo-yo in particular. I do like the Basecamp stuff. Like I said, I really like my Expedition, which I have. The Expedition, though, as you could tell, has sort of a more interesting profile. The cut's a little bit bigger in there. There's like a little step. Hold on, I'll show you here. There's like a little step in there, and there's a couple little steps, and it's interesting. You also get the CLYW snow tire response pads. So the snow tires, for those who don't know, are a little bit thicker than the YoyoFactory ones. Now this isn't. I'm not going to open this yo-yo up because it's got to go back, and I don't want to open new yo-yos and stuff. But you know, this just has the white YoyoFactory slim pads. I don't like the white YoyoFactory slim pads. They're probably the worst performing pads that YoyoFactory has. They're slippy. They just don't grip very well at all. And to put them in yo-yos with such huge gaps, which most YoyoFactories have, to me is sort of a disservice to the yo-yo, because it's just going to bind like crap unless you use like the thickest string you can find. So unless you're like, you know, a user of like Kitty XL or thicker string, you know, for tighter bind tricks, like for tighter binds and for for laceration binds and stuff, you're gonna have a hard time binding on this yo-yo, and so that for me was kind of tough. The other thing issue I have with this, not that it's a bad yo-yo per se, but the other issue that I have with this yo-yo is the price of the yo-yo. So this yo-yo comes in between $75 and $80. They want, $79.95 for it. And that's what they sell for, $75. For $75, think about what's in that price range, or within $5-ish of that price range. You can get tons of one drops, but particularly I think for $80 you can get, or 79 or 76 or whatever, you can get a one drop top deck. This yo-yo is not in the league with this yo-yo. It's just not. Designed, machined, made in America by one drop, designed in America, sure, made in China, not on the same level. Just not. It's, I'm not going to tell you that, I don't want to get into the argument of, American machining versus Chinese machining and what have you. I can tell you, I've played both of these yo-yos, not on the same level. Same thing, though, a lot of the CLYW stuff, it's the same price range. $80, $85, $90 for splashes and whatever. These only come in solid colors. So, $85 for a fade versus $75 for this solid colored one. I'd rather have the compass, the CLYW compass, or a kayak, or a dune, or really anything in the CLYW range. So, to me, I think setting the price point of this yo-yo, particularly at $75, puts it out of its league. Puts it out of a league in which it can compete as far as value is concerned. Because, if this was a $50 yo-yo, okay, great, it's fine. $75 doesn't compete in that price range. It just doesn't. And, you can tell me I'm wrong in the comments all you want. Doesn't compete in the price range. I'm sorry. I have a ton of yo-yos. I know what competes in what price range and how much things cost and what should feel like when it costs how much. This isn't in that price range. It's not that interesting of a shape. I realize it's supposed to be kind of a catch-all shape. Not that interesting of a shape. And we're going to throw a string on it, and I'll kind of show you what I mean. And we're back. Alright, this is what it looks like under some lights here. Got it all strung up here. I threw a yellow string on there, and I have a yellow shirt on, so that might be stupid. But there's the finger spin cup there, thumb grind lip there. You can see the shape kind of in the light there. Sun's coming through the window, which is right there. And throw it around a little bit, tell you what I think. So at under 65 grams, you immediately feel how light this yo-yo is when you throw it. It feels kind of hollow to me. And not hollow like, pivots are hollow, like the checkpoint pivot and the regular pivot. It's hollow like, it feels like it's a belt. That kind of hollow. As far as the pads are concerned, I'm trying to be careful here, but usually I can snag that bind. But because the gap is so wide and it's got the white YoyoFactory pads in there that are kind of slippy, it doesn't bind that great. So, there's that. It's pretty decently smooth as far as that's concerned. Laser engraving on the ends kind of, hides a little bit. It's pretty smooth, but I wouldn't say it's as smooth as like a CLYW is out of the box, but it's pretty smooth. Performs okay, but because it's so light, I feel like the spin times kind of suffer a little bit. Like I can kind of feel it die out a little bit. It's not the longest spinning yo-yo. As far as finger spins are concerned, I'm not the best finger spinner, but this cup I feel like almost makes it harder, because if you don't hit it right in that cup, you kind of fall into this abyss around the cup, and that just sort of kills your finger spin. So you're not going to be able to finger spin if you miss. So, like, see, even I hit the cup there, and it's spinning okay, but it wants to spin around it, and then I tied a knot. So, I appreciate the thought to put a finger spin cup on there, but honest to God, I have an easier time finger spinning on a shutter. So, I don't know. Just not feeling it. This one's not for me, I think. I think that's part of the problem. And the fact that it costs $75, I just kind of feel like it should be more. So maybe that's on me, but that's, that's where I sit as far as that's concerned. So let's put it back on the desk. I'll give you my pros and cons, final thoughts on it, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so as a jack of all trades kind of yo-yo, I think it kind of falls short of some of the other ones that are sort of meant to be that way, particularly like, if you think of the CLYW compass as sort of your kind of good all-arounder, I feel like this is sort of a subpar version of that. Or at least a less good version of the compass. I don't feel like it finger spins as well as the cup would necessarily make you think it would, especially because of these, like, fall into no man's land. Like, if you hit that, you're screwed. And, your finger spin screws up. Now, I'm not the best at finger spins, but I can do them, and I can do them a lot better on, like, the compass or, the pivot, clearly the pivot, but I thought it would be easier on this. It's not. The finish, the blasted finish is good. I think it's certainly a step up from what the first finishes were on the first run, the like kind of shinier finish. I think it's certainly a step up, but it's not my favorite blasted finish ever. I feel like it could have been better too. Like, I've played better ones. I think the one on the pivot is a little bit softer feeling and a little bit better. So, I feel like that could have been a little bit better. Because of the weight being as low as it is, it kind of plays a little bit hollow, a little bit light. Some people like that. I kind of wish it had more power behind it. And, so for me, this wasn't as fun of a yo-yo to play with. For $75, I certainly don't think it really stacks up with much within its price range. And I would certainly prefer the Expedition over the Jackknife if we're just talking about the Basecamp stuff. But, that's just my opinion on it. I have said, throughout all of these that I have to give you my honest opinion. My honest opinion is, at $75, this yo-yo is boring, it costs too much, and it doesn't stack up to what's in its price range. Now, the pros of this yo-yo, you get a cool thumb grind lip. The blasting is good. It's a step up from what the older ones were, and it's a better finish than a lot of yo-yos come with, particularly a lot of YoyoFactories. But at $75, most yo-yos kind of do have a little bit of a nicer finish, in my opinion. But that's, again, my opinion. The blasting finish is perfectly acceptable. This is definitely an all-arounder, and if you want an all-around yo-yo that's good for everything, this certainly fits the bill. I think it's a little bit too light, but if you like light yo-yos, that might be your thing. It is relatively stable. It does have a good bit of rim weight there, so the stability isn't much of an issue. But I would be careful with these blasted finished ones, as they do. If the string rubs too much, it's going to wear the string a little quicker than non-blasted ones do. But it hasn't had much issue. Like, my pivot kind of sawed strings in half quickly. This doesn't really do that, but it's just, because it's blasted there, just kind of a warning, because the blasting does, if you notice, it does go all the way down. So, the blasting will wear your strings out a little faster, at least initially, until it wears in a little bit. But anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents on it. What do you think of it? I know these have been out for a while. But tell me, what do you think about the Basecamp Jackknife? Not my favorite, but that's just my opinion. Tell me in the comments what you think about it. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm not drinking anything tonight. We're going to head out and get the kids. But cheers to you. Thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you next time.